Welcome to Animeconomy. Have you ever felt it? That massive, unbridgeable gap between worlds? It's like we're living on two different planets. One, just overflowing with wealth, an endless possibility, and the other, a place of crushing poverty and despair. Well, today, we're going on a quest for an answer that might just change the way you see everything. Our journey kicks off with the central conflict of our time, a battle that's raging all over the globe. It's the epic struggle between prosperity and poverty, between freedom and control. I mean, why is it that some nations rise up and create amazing lives for their people, while others seem permanently trapped in a cycle of failure? This isn't just some academic debate, it's a question about real human lives. And the author PJ Orourke put it perfectly. This is the question that's going to drive our entire journey today. It's a feeling we've all had, right? In a world with so much technology, so much brilliance, so much raw potential, why do so many places still just suck? Let's dive in and start our investigation. To find out what actually works, we first have to see what doesn't. Our quest for the secret to wealth has to begin with a road of trials, a tour through worlds where things went horribly, horribly wrong. We've got to see the consequences of bad ideas up close to really understand the incredible power of good ones. So our first stop is post-communist Albania. And when I say chaos, I mean total chaos. Imagine this. An entire country gets swept up in these massive pyramid schemes. We're talking millions of people pouring every last penny of their life savings into them, even though they knew deep down that the profits being promised were just impossible. And this is where it gets absolutely fascinating and kinda sad. In a system with zero trust in the government or the law, people didn't think they were the victims of a scam. No. They thought they were becoming partners in a massive criminal enterprise. They figured they were getting a cut of some huge smuggling operation. That's what happens when a society's moral compass gets completely shattered. Okay, our tour continues, and next we land in communist Cuba. Now, forget the romantic postcards with the cool classic cars. We're talking about the bleak reality of an economy that is fundamentally broken, basically frozen in time. Progress is held hostage by a single, failing ideology, and the whole nation is just caught in this time loop of stagnation. This quote just nails the problem, doesn't it? It perfectly illustrates the catastrophic danger of total centralized control, an entire country's future. The food on the table, the medicine in the hospitals, was literally chained to one man's inability to admit that he was wrong. This isn't just bad policy, it's a tragedy on a national scale. So for our final trial, we're going somewhere completely different, socialist Sweden. Now, this isn't chaos or stagnation, it's order. It's clean, it's safe, and on the surface, it seems really fair. But all that security comes at a steep price. Massive government control, absolutely suffocating taxes, and a culture that puts the group way, way above the individual. And this quote reveals this profound cultural shift. In Sweden, the state isn't seen as some necessary evil. It's seen as part of the family. People willingly hand over huge chunks of their income because they trust the government will take care of them. But our quest forces us to ask a really tough question. In creating this perfectly safe and secure society, does something vital about the human spirit, that drive to achieve, to risk, to be excellent, get lost in the process? If this journey is sparking some new questions for you, and I really hope it is, take a quick moment to like this explainer and maybe share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Okay, let's continue the quest. So, now that we've witnessed all the different faces of failure, it's time to enter the belly of the whale. We have to journey right into the chaotic, intimidating, and unbelievably powerful heart of capitalism itself, the roaring floors of Wall Street and the buzzing markets of Hong Kong. The folks on Wall Street have a word for all this wild energy: liquidity. But what is it really? Well, think of it as the lifeblood of capitalism. It's the magic that lets money, ideas, and resources flow almost instantly to wherever they're valued the most. It's what powers innovation and somehow creates wealth out of thin air. I mean, if you look at the old stock market floors, it just looks like pure madness. Guys in colorful jackets screaming at each other, paper everywhere. There's a complete absence of dignity. But underneath all that chaos, something incredible is happening. It's one of the most efficient systems ever created for turning millions of different opinions into a single concrete thing, a price. It's how capital gets allocated with breathtaking speed. This quote just perfectly captures the emotional roller coaster of the market. Because when you own a stock, what you really own isn't a physical thing. It's an opinion. It's an opinion about the future. And as we all know, opinions can change in a heartbeat. That volatility, that craziness, it's not a bug in the system. It is the system processing new information in real time. Okay, we've journeyed through chaos, stagnation, and control. We have stared right into the frantic heart of capitalism. And now we've reached the climax of our quest, the moment of revelation. The simple, powerful, and often overlooked secret to creating wealth is finally here. So what is it? After all this, what is the one true answer to that question? Why do some places prosper while others just suck? Well, the answer is both way simpler and way more profound than you might think.
This is it. The secret isn't some complex economic formula. It's all the boring stuff your parents and grandparents probably told you about. It's a foundation built on basic virtues, a legal system people can actually trust, respect for property rights, personal responsibility, education, and just plain old hard work. These are the pillars of prosperity. That's the secret.
And when those foundations are in place, absolute magic happens. Let's just consider a simple pencil. No single person on this entire planet knows how to make one from scratch. Think about it. It takes miners to get the graphite, lumberjacks to cut the cedar, chemical engineers, factory workers, people growing rubber for the eraser, thousands of people all over the world who will never meet, all cooperating without even knowing it, just to create a simple pencil. That right there is the miracle of wealth creation. So we've found the answer on a global scale, but now the journey has to turn inward. Because the quest for prosperity isn't just about nations and markets. The fight for freedom is a personal, moral battle that each and every one of us has to face. This brings us to one of the biggest obstacles to freedom, the very seductive idea of fairness. Now, we're all taught that fairness is a virtue, and in our personal lives, it is. But when you make it the foundation of an economic system, it often just means using the force of the government to take from one person and give to another. And you have to ask, is that really fair? Is it truly moral?
The economists Milton and Rose Friedman broke this down perfectly. There are only 4 ways to spend money. 1, you spend your money on yourself, you're going to look for the best value. 2, you spend your money on others, like a gift, you'll watch the price. 3, you spend others' money on yourself, like an expense account, price is no object. And finally, 4, you spend other people's money on other people. What's that? That's government. And in that case, any damn thing will do. It's a simple thought experiment that shows why government spending is almost always wasteful, no matter how good the intentions are.
And so our epic journey ends right here, with one of the oldest rules for humanity, the 10th commandment. Now, this isn't just a religious rule. It's a foundational economic principle. It's a command to reject envy. It tells us that if we want what our neighbor has, we shouldn't plot to take it. We should be inspired to go out and earn it for ourselves. And this rejection of envy isn't just the key to a moral life. It is the very engine of all human progress and prosperity. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Animeconomy and check the link in the description to get the book.